So if y'all get into trapping foot traps for coons, I would highly recommend these trampoline stakes. Like usually we'll kind of tie off to a tree or something, but let's just say you ain't got a good spot or a good tree, or you've got a little trail and there ain't nothing good to hook off on. These things right here are lifesavers. We've got pretty much now where we're going to use these regardless, because once we get them in the ground, they ain't pulling them out. You'll basically just spin them in the ground. And that's pretty much it. Our bait here that we use, just good and cold. We just take regular corn, and we get done with breakfast, bacon grease, pour in on top of the corn. Here's our traps like we run. These are just Duke foot traps. So what I'll do, I'll come through the loop on this trampoline stake, and then I'll just bring my trap through my loop, and that's basically it. I mean, that trap's set and ready to go, other than arming it. So if you get these Duke traps, buy this set handle. I'm not 100% sure what they call it on their website, but it's a set handle. Unless you're just super strong, and I'm not, you pretty much gotta have this thing to set these traps. That trap's armed and ready. I'll get her pushed down like that. This is relatively rocky ground, so sometimes they go in easier, sometimes they don't. But I'll kind of lay my cable down the best that I can. And I'll take some of this stuff here, just cover my cable up. So I keep me this old house spoon. I'll dip some of this out. And I'll fill this trap up. I'll let a little bit hit the ground around. A lot of folks say they fill it up to the top. I don't. I've noticed that I don't catch as much when I fill them up to the top for whatever reason. I don't know if it's they eat it halfway down and then they just kind of move on. So I put a little bit on the ground in front of it, and then I set the corn right to my little trigger on the inside. And that's how I've done it, and we've had a lot of success with it. So I'm one of those if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of guys. And I always take a little bit of this vanilla extract, and basically all I do, I just get a little bit on the tip of my finger like this, and then I just rub it around the rim of that trap. And that's just something smell wise to make them come by, because like I said, a coon being what it is, if it gets over here and realizes that there's corn, he's ultimately going to put his hand in there and try to get it out. Alright, for the purpose of showing y'all how we typically do it from time to time. Alright, so there's a pretty good trail here, and I'm running low on trampoline stakes for whatever reason. Alright, so here's how we would do it if we were just tying it off to a tree. I would simply come around this tree, take my loop, I dropped this cable as low as I could possibly get it, and now that trap's tied off. It can't go nowhere. We do it this way as well. I would advise coming up with you a way or something to kind of keep your stuff in, because before I started using these tubs, I just kind of toted this stuff in, and I just throwed that stuff on the ground while I was doing all of this, well, you can only imagine what has happened a number of times before I figured out a better method of doing this. This thing is hard to find in these leaves, especially if you throw it and it gets under it. You wouldn't think it, but this is hard to find. Invest in you some orange tape, flagging tape, and about head high tie this off where you set your trap, because there will come a time if you get into this where you're going to lose one. It's going to happen. And if you got photographic memory, God bless you, because I don't. Got us an old double foot. Well guys, I feel like I'm doing my part. This is another turkey nest saved. The garden's going to be a little bit better come gardening season. Fruit orchard isn't going to get hit as bad. So for every one of these that I can take out, a little better I'm doing for our area. Some folks may not like it, but it is what it is. We do what we got to do over here.